This video goes into the research, design, and assembly of a replica EMF meter like the one used by Olivia in Supernatural Season 4, Episode 2. This meter was always the most interesting to me due to the larger size, the 10 LEDs, and all the front-mounted components. It was hard to get good images of the meter since it had limited screen time. I was able to sharpen some of the images to make out a few key details. The meter is 0 to 15 volts DC. A few of the crystals are 10.240 MHz, and I'm mostly confident that the IC under the meter is an LM3914 for the LEDs. The remaining 6 ICs I could not get a clear image, but I was able to see a Motorola symbol on at least one of them. There are 5 screws on the top, probably for the battery mount on the bottom of the meter, and it looks like 2 small relays and maybe another crystal below them. I first had to see if I can get the DC meter to run at 3 to 5 volts since I'm using an AT-Tiny 85 to drive it. Once I determined it was possible and what value I needed, I just soldered the meter wires directly to the posts, and I'll put the resistor on the board. I now had enough to make a schematic of the design. For the board, I just did a perf board format and a cutout for the DC meter. I then created a layout of the front of the board and started to look for ICs I could use to populate it. The only functional IC is the LM3914, and the other 6 are cosmetic. I began with the placement of the LEDs in the top 4 crystals. The crystals looked to be surface mount, and I removed the insulator before soldering them as they were cosmetic only. I drilled out the back pads for the LED cathodes since I was going to run the LED source over these locations and I did not want to short. I was able to find some 10.240 MHz crystals that had the number stamped on the housing. Those went to the locations next to the LM3914. More than likely all the crystals are 10.240 MHz. I made the top red wire functional and it carries the LED source to the top of the board. I used rainbow ribbon cable to connect the LEDs to the LM3914. The rest was just following the schematic connections. This design is a subset of my other EMF meter. I used 24 gauge wire to add the remaining cosmetic wire connections to the top of the board. Some of this wiring is guesswork since I do not have clean images of the left side of the board. This meter is a prop-only version with a program test button to manually activate the meter or activate one of the 3 pre-programmed sequences. A long press on the button enters manual mode, and a short press will cycle through the program sequences. These sequences can be added and changed by reprogramming the AT-Tiny part. If you also want to go ghost hunting, assembled meters are for sale along with some spare PC boards and parts. Check out the links in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you to those that have subscribed. Please take a look at my other projects, and if you are not yet a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.